Ever wonder why Amish farms look so neat, so peaceful? It's not just hard work. It's what they refuse to plant. Crops that steal time. Crops that drain the soul. Today on Rustic Plantry, we're pulling back the curtain and showing you the 10 crops the Amish absolutely avoid and why maybe you should too. Stick around. You might just save yourself a whole lot of heartache. 1. Exotic fruits that demand too much attention. You ever dream about growing a juicy pineapple in your backyard? The Amish don't. Not even close. See, exotic fruits like pineapples, mangoes, or bananas, they sound exciting. Taste sweet too, but they're a nightmare to grow. You need exact temperatures, special soil, a constant watering schedule. And trust me, the Amish ain't got time for that. They believe every seed planted should serve a real purpose. Something solid, something that feeds families without fuss. Exotic fruits? They'd hog time and energy better spent on cows, kids, and cornfields. That's why, if you walk through an Amish farm, you won't spot a mango tree anywhere. Just good, honest crops that mind their business and grow strong. 2. Crops that depend on chemicals to survive. There's a saying among the old Amish farmers: if it can't grow with God's rain and good earth, it don't belong here. Crops that need chemical fertilizers and sprays just ain't welcome. Modern soybeans, cotton loaded with pesticides, fancy hybrid grains. Nope, not here. These crops demand constant nursing. Spraying, feeding, fixing. Takes too much time. Too much money too. Amish folks see farming as a sacred trust, not a chemistry experiment. They stick with old-fashioned heirloom seeds, ones tough enough to fight their own battles. That way, fields stay healthy, soil stays alive, and guess what? They save hours, even days, by not running around spraying poisons or fixing sickly plants. 3. Tender lettuce varieties that bolt quickly. Ever plant some lettuce in spring, and boom, 2 weeks later, it's tall and bitter? Yeah, that's bolting. Amish farmers have seen it 1,000 times. That's why they avoid tender lettuces that shoot up and ruin themselves the second it gets a little warm. Bolted lettuce tastes awful, bitter like chewing on a tire. Plus, babysitting delicate greens through hot spells, shading, watering constantly, it's a headache. Waste of time too. Amish folks are smart. They pick hardy greens, big, sturdy ones. Kale, collards, endive. Stuff that stands its ground when the sun blazes down. No drama, no stress, just good eating all season long. 4. Delicate strawberries that demand constant attention. Everybody loves strawberries. Little kids, grannies, even the horses probably would if you let him. But ask any Amish farmer, strawberries ain't easy. Those sweet berries, they're divas, need daily attention when they ripen. Mulching, weeding, watching for slugs. If you miss even one hot afternoon, half your crop's gone to mush. For the Amish, who already juggle animals, hay fields, gardens, and home chores, strawberries just ain't worth it. You'll see a patch here and there, small ones. Maybe for the kitchen, but big commercial fields? Forget it. Strawberries might be sweet, but the time they steal, bittersweet at best. 5. Corn hybrids that require heavy inputs. Corn is life around Amish country. Corn for the cows. Corn for the table. Corn for the wood stoves come winter. But not just any corn. You won't catch them planting those fancy hybrid varieties that promise big yields but need gallons of fertilizer and buckets of pesticides. Nah, Amish folks know better. Those hybrids? They eat money and time like candy. Plus, they strip the soil down to dust if you ain't careful. Instead, Amish farmers stick with open-pollinated corn. The old types, the kind you can save seeds from and replant. Strong stuff. Built for real soil, real rain, and real hands. Saves work. Saves headaches too. 6. Water-thirsty crops unsuitable for their soil. Imagine trying to grow rice in the dry Pennsylvania dirt. Not gonna happen. Amish farms rely on nature's blessing. The rain, the dew, the good earth. They can't and won't waste time hauling water all day long. Crops like rice, specialty melons, or water-hungry vegetables are a no-go. You can bet on that. Amish families choose plants that sip water slow. Beans, squash, hardy peas, things that tough it out during a dry spell. No fancy irrigation systems. No 20-hour days dragging hoses. Just honest plants that respect the farmer's time and the land's limits. 7. Labor-intensive asparagus fields. Asparagus sounds fancy, don't it? Tender green spears popping up every spring. But man, it's a test of patience. You plant it, and then you wait, and wait. 2. Sometimes 3 years before you get a meal off those fields. And the whole time you're weeding, mulching, babying that patch like it's made of glass. Amish farmers, they respect the land too much to waste it that way. They need food now, not 3 years down the road. Instead of burning daylight on fussy asparagus beds, they plant crops that pay them back faster. Carrots, cabbage, beans. Food that fills plates today, not maybe someday. 8. Soft tomatoes that spoil too fast. There's a big difference between a grocery store tomato and a real, hardy garden tomato. The Amish know this better than most. They steer clear of soft, thin-skinned varieties. You know the kind. One rainstorm and they split wide open. One hot day and they turn into mush on the vine. Managing fragile tomatoes is like chasing a chicken through a cornfield. Exhausting and a little embarrassing. Amish farmers favor thick-skinned, tough heirloom tomatoes. Ones that hang on during storms. Ones that don't mind a little rough handling. Because in a world where every minute counts, saving time is saving life itself. 9. Finicky grapes that need constant pruning. Vines are pretty, twisting, turning green. Grapes sparkling like little jewels. But you know what those vines really need? A babysitter. Grapes are fussy. They need exact pruning schedules, pest management, and careful harvesting. Miss a step? You get rot, disease, useless fruit. The Amish don't have time for crops that act like spoiled children. Maybe you'll find a grapevine or two near a farmhouse for jelly or canning. But you won't see acre after acre of vineyard. Amish farmers choose plants that do their work with little fuss. No constant hand-holding, just a good harvest when the time's right. 10. Fussy herbs that offer little return. Some people plant fancy herb gardens with 30 kinds of basil and a dozen types of thyme. Sounds nice, looks pretty, but not for the Amish. Herbs that need perfect soil, careful watering, pest control, and a little prayer just to sprout? Not worth the trouble. Amish gardeners grow tough herbs. Mint, sage, oregano, things that practically grow themselves. Stuff that's good for tea, healing wounds, flavoring stew. Useful, reliable. They don't waste space or time on delicate plants that promise more headache than help. Every inch of Amish soil has to work hard, just like the people tending it. See, the Amish figured out long before we did. Not every seed deserves your soil, or your time, or your sweat. Choose what grows honest, grows strong, and you'll have more time for what really matters. Thanks for sitting this spell with us here at Rustic Plantry. If you like this kind of storytelling, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe, leave a comment, and we'll meet you back here under the big oak tree real soon.